Okay, I'm just going to do a update on the rep start for 4.37.3. So it's been a while since I did a ramp start tutorial, so let's go through it. This ramp start's not completely by the book according to the manual. If you want all the details on testing and shit like that, then you can follow up yourself. This is just a ramp start that I do for all my missions. It's pretty basic, but it gets me everyone reasonably quick. Okay, so first of all, just power up the battery switch, that twice, so you're on the second position. Fuel feed to norm, air source to norm, and right click on the JFS switch. So it's JFS 2, and just let that power up. You'll see this, we're monitoring this RPM percent gauge. Once it gets to 25%, we'll then release the idle detent. It's a bit different to the way I was doing these ramp starts. I'm now changing it slightly. Okay, so we're coming up on, we're over 20%, just up on, coming up to 25%, so we can release the idle detent, and we should see the engine RPMs moving up. Okay, looking good, and it's powered up. It's the main thing. That's probably the most difficult thing about a ramp start, is trying to get that right. Okay, so now we can the IFF to standby. We wanted to communicate on the backup channel. You would just turn on the volume controls, push this to both, and we could communicate on the UHF backup channel. But it's going to get this, switch the backup channel to upfront controls. Let's power up the radar threat warning auxiliary, which switches on the RWR, radar warning receiver. Put on that search function there. Let's power up the INS. All of these avionics switches just go up. Oxygen on, auto, anti-ice to auto, left and right hard points, FCR on, radar altimeter to standby, DED data on, and we have that forward, and the radar altimeter on the HUD. Clear the master caution, set the diamond floater, diamond point, and switch on the HUD. Okay, hit return. See, we don't have our other VHF channel on, so let's switch that on. Switch that to full volume. Whistle threat volume, I normally have them cranked up as well. ILS on, turn that up fully. ECM on, and these switches here needs to be pressed, just click once. Here. Okay, navigation lights, just flash, fuselage on, switch that to norm, and these are the formation lights. What else we got? Okay, at night you probably want to have that switch to taxi. It throws a bit more light than the landing lights do. And so we'll switch on the RWR, the jammer, and the missile warning system. Chaff flare control systems on. Flare program is going to be BYF, and just turn on the HMCS. You can see that's working. I'll set the course alignment for that later. Okay, so we've got a few errors showing up here. We need to clear them. First thing we'll do is we want to power up the TGP. If you've got one, and set the north pointer. Load the data cartridge. Actually, before we do that, we just center these HSD and couple the HSD to the FCR. Now we're going to load the data cartridge. So DTE, load, and before we go further, let's reset the flight control system. You'll see this count down as it loads the data into the cartridge, and you'll see it's by default it's got UHF set to 2, preset 2, and VHF set to preset 15. I'll just get rid of these HMCS for now. So I'm just going to try and do this for you on the OC with the mouse. I normally use shortcut keys on my keyboard, but I'll try and do it with the mouse. So I want to get that cursor so we're on step point 2. Move it up and then use the up button to advance to step point 2. And then move this. You see we just toggle around the 3, the UHF, step point, and VHF. So let's get up to VHF, UHF. Now we want to set the TACAN for OSUN. OSUN is 11130. Just type in 5 numbers without the decimal. It'll actually insert a decimal for you. You see 11130 is OSUN. Now for the course heading, I'm just going to set that to be the landing runway for OSUN on the return. So I'm just going to go TTT all the way through to say active landing runway.
Gamble 11 OSUN, runway 27 right
so
for landing.
27 right, so we'll make this 265. That's the actual bearing. And also we'll set the air-to-air TACAN. So I'm the flight leader, so I'll be 12. So I need to change the band by just hitting any number, press enter, and then TACAN needs to be changed from TR to AA, so we just hit sequence. There we go, and then hit return. So we can see the once you've done it, you can see the yard, what they call the yardstick, which is the distance between your jet and the element lead. In this case it's with 4-ship flight, so I'm 12 Yankee, he'll be 75 Yankee, so that's the distance between us two. Okay, align, so INS has aligned, so we can now switch that to nav. As you can see, we've still got some errors there, so we need to clear the test page. Clear that. Those errors are gone, and they're not returning as errors on the test page, so that's a good sign. I also like to turn on the TFR, even if I may not use it. Normally I like to power it up anyway. The switch is pretty easy. Switch that on, and then back to FCR. So see the FCR is powered up by now, so we can go standby, CRM. Now, if I'm flying with other guys, normally get them to leave this button here on the sign, and I'm the flight leader. I will switch this to continuous and just trip it by going mic switch left. That sends a continuous signal out every so many seconds to the rest of the flight. They can sort of see you on the HSD. Okay, so I'm going to set this to M4. Just got to remember that before we take off that I switch this IFF on to norm before we go, and also radar altimeter to on before we taxi. Alright, So a few other things to do. I normally like to set my air-to-air combat parameters. So let's see what we've got here. Yep, I've normally set, these are 120Cs. They'll be set to medium. TGP I will have on there. And then I'll set the air to ground. We're doing an Ica strike on the Ongjin AB, so we're carrying the Randalls, which is runway bombs. We're going to be flying at low level, so I'm just going to set these up. We've got 6 BL-107s. I'm going to drop them as singles. I'm going to ripple them as ripple 6. 6 there, so we're going to ripple them as 6, and we're also going to set a impact space in between each bomb of the maximum, which is about 1,000 feet, so 999. Enter. Release angle, we want to set that to 0 because we're going to be flying in at under 200 feet. That's the plan anyway. And also we need to set the arm delay fuse to 1.6 seconds, so let's do that. Click on here, and then we need to bring this cursor down here, so just hit enter and it'll bring it down there. Then we can change that from 6 seconds to 160. You can see it puts the decimal point in for you. Enter. So that's the way I have it. It's going to be tail delivery, comes off the tail. Release angle is straight down. We want those Randalls armed pretty quickly because we're dropping them from very low altitude. So 1.6 seconds should be enough to arm the bombs. And we're dropping them as singles with a 1,000 foot space in between them. Straight down the middle of the runway. Okay, so that's if we get everything right. Now the course heading for the runway is 290, so we need to set that in our HSR. So let's do that. 290. Oops. 290. Let's set this TGP to air to ground. Find out what the QNH should be. Request QNH.
Gamble 11 Ocean Q page 2976.
2976, so we set that. Landing lights on. Okay, so we're ready to taxi. The only thing we haven't done here is set the this one here. I can't remember what they call this, but it's not zero, enter 0. So this time on steer point it enables you to follow the steer point. What is it? On time. So what's our takeoff time? I think it's 7:40. Anyway. Turn, and we need to set a couple of list controls. List 08 for the bullseye, enter, turn, and then list. Let's turn on the HMCS. See how as I go over the cockpit, that HMCS HUD is all over the cockpit. It gets a bit confused, so we can set a course alignment for it, but also have it so it blanks out once you move your head across the cockpit. Now I've got track IR5, so this is how I'm doing my head tracking. But those of you, maybe other people might be using VR or other means to do this. So anyway, there's a sequence. So we go list to set this HMCS course control. Setting or alignment will be list 0, 0, recall, Okay, so what you want to do is move this up. A bit tricky because I've got to move my head to do this. I normally press F9 to hold it, then cursor enable to do the alignment, and F9 get to release, and then we can hit return. Okay, so now we can see as we move my head across the cockpit, it blanks the cockpit, blanks HMCS, which is handy, because it's annoying otherwise. Okay, so I think we're ready to go. So we're going to do a call to the tower, T3.
Good afternoon, Gamble 1. You are number 1 for departure. Taxi,
Okay,
Charlie, Foxtrot, Echo, and then hold short, runway 27 left.
Chocks out and notional steering on, and we can move. Okay, so 27 right is out to, or 27 left I think it is, out to our right. So that's a pretty reasonably quick, normally I'll do that a little bit quicker. It normally takes me about 8 minutes to do a ramp start without talking. So this may have taken a little bit longer. But yeah, you can get it reasonably quick and get yourself airborne, have all your systems working once you're airborne and ready to fight pretty well straight away. Okay, so the only drama is TGPs take a long time to power up, so see it's not powered up yet, still blank, still timed out. So we may wait, we've got a few minutes before we need to take off anyway, so we may be able to wait for that. But I'm just going to end this video here for the ramp start section. Just pull up on the holding lines and just end that section. Okay, this is going to trigger.
Gamble 1-1, contact tower for takeoff. Switch 30880.
Okay, that's just telling me to switch the UHF channel to 3. And
RB41, Osan Tower, way 200 at 3 knots, runway 27 right, clear for landing, jet gear down.
okay. See our TGP is powered up now. So the last thing we need to do is we need to power on the IFF to norm. Switch on the radar altimeter and switch on master arm. Okay. You probably wouldn't put that on until you're actually airborne, but I generally switch it on before I take off. Yeah, one thing I haven't done is list 0, 5. Because I'm doing a bombing run, I'd like to have my laser activated, so I'm going to move the cursor down till we get it to here. This is the laser, so we need to hit any number, doesn't matter what it is, and just change it from training to combat, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so that's now correct. And yeah, so set a few other things. I'd like to set my TGPs up, so when I'm in air-to-air mode, or 120 mode if you like, I like to have the TGP on and also the FCR on in this position. When I'm in dogfight mode, I want the TGP as well. So I set those. Otherwise, I'm in nav mode. I want to see the HSD and the FCR. So these are just settings that I prefer. You may have different settings. It's just individual, I think. Now we can see point 1. That's this is between me and the element lead, who is behind me. So I think we're pretty much ready to go. Laser arm on. We've got everything switched on. and we're ready to taxi onto the runway. So let's get permission from the tower.
Gamble 1, Osan Tower, weight 200 at 3 knots, runway 27 left. You're cleared for takeoff.
Runway, you really want to line up downwind if you're the flight lead. You want to be downwind of the rest of your flight. So see the sock there that's pointing away, just right in front of us now. It's pointing away in that direction. So this is the correct side of the runway to take off from if you're the flight lead. If it was blown the other way, then you'd be on the left side. Okay, so you want to be downwind of that windsock indicator. Okay, so let's just line up, and I'm going to give a call to the flight to line up in a specific pattern. So we're going to do R, press R all the way through till you get to runway lineup, and we're going to select 4 ship, 3 in the slot.
2,
They're responding now.
3, 4.
And you can see they're going to pull around and come in and line up on the runway in the typical 3 in the slot.
Copy. 4-1. Contact ground. Switch to 25370. Gamble 1, Osan Tower. Expedite departure. Incoming traffic. Gamble 1, Osan Tower. Expedite departure. Incoming traffic. Gamble 1, Osan Tower. Expedite departure. Incoming traffic.
Wingman. The next one in line should be the element lead. He should be slotting in behind me, but looks like they're on strike today. There's some weird shit down there. So we'll take off anyway. Okay, I'm just going to end this video. So that's the end of the ramp start for 4.37.3.